is, you know it, your best friend, Paul George. The Philadelphia 76ers forward Paul George has been suspended for 25 games by the NBA for violating the league's anti-drug program. The league announced on January 31st. Now, this will keep him out through March 25th, 2026. Can you believe this? Paul George is going down for 25 games, ironically, right before the trade deadline. And this is at a time when the team really needs him the most. So can you tell me, Kyron, what do you really make out of this? Paul George, 25 game suspension.
However, it's unfortunate for Philadelphia at this time. With them trying to finally get some kind of cohesion, with actually their players all healthy at this time. Well, Embiid and George and Edgecombe and Maxey, Oubre's back. They're ready to make a run, and you see Embiid playing some of the best basketball, at least what he's physically capable of playing right now, and just being able to show up for the majority of the games. It's kind of unfortunate that this drops into their situation at this time.
Unfortunate. That's funny. I say that Paul George has played this almost perfectly, and it falls into his fortune. Ironically, this happens. Now, let me tell you why this happened. Number one, this was the biggest
All
blessing.
ears. Let's hear it.
Okay, this happened because Paul George, if you ask me, was on his way out the door. They're about to make a big trade and move him. I thought that was evident. They were going to try to move Paul George. What they weren't banking on was Maxey becoming this superstar. Now that Maxey's become this superstar, and Edgecombe is coming to his own, all you need is few role players, and getting off that contract that Paul George has was, I think, on the forefront of Philadelphia's mind. So I think that Paul George was going to get traded, but this happened, unfortunately.
Well, to take a line from General Manager Dunleavy, you gotta have demand to be able to make something happen, right? So I don't see any demand for Paul George. So they were just hoping that he could stay healthy, and I'm sure just get out there and contribute in some fashion, whether with his size and some defense, the offensive bonus, because at this point, again, you got Maxey and you got Embiid scoring at will, and Edgecombe. They have offensive options, but I think Paul George at this point was really the defensive focus, and him being able to guard some of those larger wings and stuff was a definite bonus for Philly.
I wasn't seeing Paul George as being a defensive threat at all. I mean, he has the size.
Not saying he's unstoppable or anything, especially not in this league, but as just, again, a 6'8" guy with good length and who can stay out in front of some of the larger wings in this league is, I believe, his role at this point. He's no longer considered a number one or two offensive option. No, not at all.
No.
However, this 25 games, man, he's going to be back, I believe, with maybe 10 games or so left in the season. For him, maybe this is all right, chance to just, rest the body, hopefully come back with a little juju to push for the final push of the season. And in the long term, in the grand scheme of things, maybe this is not a terrible thing for Philadelphia. Again, gets guys like Oubre and Grimes some opportunities to get out there and hopefully get themselves established before the playoffs.
Let me read some numbers out to you, okay? 18, 15, 17, 14, 10, 9, and then a whooping 30.
Let me guess. Is this his scoring totals over the last few games? Or?
These are Paul George scoring totals over the last few games, averaging 16 points on the season, but being steady around the 16 to 18 mark. Dipped down to 9. All of a sudden, he jumped to 32. What does that say?
Uh-oh.
Okay. Now, and here's the tricky thing, because this is a gray area and we don't want to really play with mental health, but we could be being taken for a ride on this one. 32
Wow.
points. What if, let me give you a scenario. What if Paul George is, you know,
What are you trying to say? There might have been a little something extra in those mental health pills?
hey man, Paul George was moving quite fast out there. I'm not trying to say, but he's been telling
Allegedly,
himself he can't keep up.
allegedly.
Allegedly, like, like Barkley said it best. Like, if you're taking something for your mental health, even if it's on the list of papers of things that you cannot take, you can easily, quickly, probably get that put on the list that yes, you can take that, because if it's not performance enhancing, but you're dealing with, your mental health, then yes, you should be able to take it. However, if you're taking something to help you perform on the court, now that's a whole other story. And with this jump in number 32, I don't know, but something smells fishy there. Paul George was, average at best. And all of a sudden he was looking to become the league's top scorer. Something.
Well, they
didn't
always do say
sound
that
right.
top high-end players are always able to conjure up those type of nights once in a while, and that's, I guess, the difference here in aging, right? You no longer could do it on a nightly basis. And he was a guy again who was a scorer, a number one option in this league, right?
I mean,
For a large portion of his career. So for him to obtain a magical night here and there, it's not out of the norm.
is it out of the
But
norm
the,
that you have a
but the
magical night,
timing,
and right after you that magical night, you getting banned for 25 games? I don't know. And then you want to blame it on mental health, so you probably can get a pass on it? I don't know. Maybe.